Hi guys, welcome back to GP Reactions. My name is Gail and this is my channel. I hope you are all well. Hope you're all well. Not all well, but are all well. So yeah, my apologies for not doing any reactions for quite a while. I've been on antibiotics and yeah, I've got a few issues going on. I did have an infection as well, which is what the antibiotics are for, but and they're making me quite breathy as well, so if I start coughing during the reaction, then that's the reason why it's actually affecting my chest, the antibiotics. So anyway, I couldn't hold back anymore. I really wanted to do some reactions, so just thanks for everybody that's been here and supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. So yeah, I'm going to be reacting to Peter Gabriel. I haven't reacted to him for a while. This is from a this track is from an album called So, which I'm sort of familiar with. There's a few tracks off there that I remember back in '86 when it came out, and yeah, what was one of it? Sledgehammer. I think Big Time might have been on there. I'm not sure if a Kate Bush Don't Give Up song was on there, but yeah, this is one I've not heard. At least I don't think I've heard it, and it is. I think it might be the final track on the album. So yeah, without further ado, this is Peter Gabriel, and We Do What We're Told. And it's very nice to be back. And I'll see how far I can keep going before I start to cough. And so, yeah, without further ado, really looking forward to this. It's weirdly, it's actually got the title, We Do What We're Told, Milgrams 37. So, I'm not entirely sure about that, but the only Milgram I know is Stanley Milgram, which was a psychologist back in the 60s, and he did a lot of experiments on obedience. I think it was either conformity or obedience, and very interesting experiments. So yeah, without further ado, let's click play. It's quite dark. Loving the drums. Okay. So I'm just wondering whether this is going to be an instrumental all the way through. I'm loving the way it began. It kind of felt really dark, like I was maybe watching a scene in a movie or something, a build up to something. I kind of almost get like a synthesized version of Peter Gabriel's voice. He's just like sort of harmony coming through there. Um, but yeah, it's really atmospheric, and it's not what I expected. To be fair, uh, I don't know. Has he done any instrumentals before? But this is really cool. That's that's incredibly strange, but at the same time, it felt kind of dark. And but there was that point where he started singing, which it had that kind of feeling of it was oppressive, but also it's like it was almost like a white noise, a kind of a frequency, which I don't know. It's kind of like it's that sort of frequency that makes you do stuff. I can't think if there's a name for it. It's but yeah, it kind of felt like your head was just full of noise. I can't really. Let me just take that back because I'm. Right, let's just take that back too. It's almost like your mind's vibrating at a different. It's a very dark thing. It's like your mind's vibrating in such a way that you're clear about what you're doing, but everything else is switched off. I kind of get where this song is going. I kind of get what it's about. I love the keys as well. Like, doot, 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 doot. It's almost like it's the programming that you have in your mind, um, but you're kind of like closed in with any other information around you. So it's just you've been programmed. It's almost like having these headphones on or ear defenders. You can't hear anything else but what's programmed straight directly into you. And I love the way the keys are setting that up there. So it's the start was really, really strange as well. It's like it feels very light at that point. That feels very dark coming underneath. And those like drums almost give me a sense of like movement, but not in a conscious kind of way. Slightly different drums there. I love it that it's kind of like there's a lot of I don't know. It feels very echoey, as if you're slightly detached from the reality of what you're hearing, um, but nevertheless you're receptive to it. I like that kind of feeling of the yeah. It's very echoey, very detached. I mean, there is a feeling in the first half of the song that you're kind of being sort of drawn into something, but not really aware of it. Um, and by the end, you are programmed to do whatever they tell you to do, and you are unable to kind of break free of that. Yeah, could be some kind of form of like hypnosis, experimental. Um, but yeah, it's a bit like what they used to say in the old days when people got bewitched. Um, it's like zombies, even the modern zombies of Asian zombies, where people would do stuff for people without realizing, they're doing stuff, and this is definitely along those lines. Um, so the lyrics: we do what we're told, we do what we're told, we do what we're told to do. So it's a mantra. So it's something that's there to kind of brainwash you, and then at the end, when Peter Gabriel's voice clearly comes in, it's like one doubt, one voice, one war, one truth, one dream. So I guess that I'm assuming that this is about Milgram's experiment. I don't know what the 37 is, but maybe that relates to the number of experiments he did on this particular subject of obedience. So for anyone who doesn't know about uh, Stanley Milgram's experiments on obedience, I think it it was directly linked to why I believe it was directly linked to why soldiers carry out unspeakable acts, um, because they are told that they can and that they won't bear any responsibility. And I think later on it was applied to, I think it was a My Lai or My Lai massacre in Vietnam. And so essentially the experiment involved a false war, I believe, and you had a participants on the one side, then you had an actor on the other side, but participants didn't know that the person on the other side was an actor. Um, and essentially there was a row of switches that corresponded to voltages, and participants would be asked to ask the person on the other side of a wall a question. If that person got it wrong, they could flick a switch which released a mild voltage, which was attached to that person, so they would go, ow, that hurts. And this is how the experiment went. But then it got to the point where um, the voltages were getting higher and higher because each switch corresponded to a higher voltage. And so it got to a point where the person on the other side was saying, oh, I can feel this on my heart. My heart's not good. Um, and then the person would then say, well, I don't really want to carry on. It's clearly that they are in some discomfort, and, I feel bad about carrying on. I don't want to carry on. And I think Milgram, if it was Milgram actually did experiments, he would say, well, you've been paid to do this. And they would say, well, I don't care, have the money back. And in the end, the hook was, well, look, if anything happens to this person, I will take full responsibility. So kind of like the generals and the commanders saying to their troops, look, we'll take responsibility. You just do your job. Um, so with that, the participants would carry on, ask her questions, and it got to the point where the person wasn't even answering at all, so they could have actually been collapsed. And they would carry on asking her questions, no answer, voltages got higher and higher. Um, and that was essentially the nature of the experiment, was, how the mechanisms, I guess, and how and why somebody would actually continue to do something that was pretty lethal. Um, but with the knowledge that it was lethal, and but in the presence, or knowing that they had no responsibility for their actions. So I guess it's a worrying thing for society to believe that we are maybe, we're very civilized. I had a cup of tea this morning, and but I'm wondering what kind of people would be the ones if they were told you have no responsibility for your actions. Um, you get a pass. What kind of people would come to the surface in those moments, um, given certain situations? Yeah, it does make me think. But this was a really, really cool track anyway. It was a big departure from Sledgehammer, um, and it felt very different from Big Time too. But I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it sounded kind of like that it should be on a movie, or maybe a show or something. So if if somehow I have heard this and it has being featured on something, so please let me know in the comments. I mean, it didn't sound that familiar. I just feel that this kind of track would be featured on something. So if it has, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, it's a very different Peter Gabriel track, which I like. I don't like to get something that I expect to get with Peter Gabriel, and this is definitely different. And yeah, from 1986 as well. So that's really, really cool. So you know what? Till next time, take care of yourselves. If you can think of anything that I can react to from Peter Gabriel, please let me know.